I'm Ryan. I'm the curator at the Alberta Aviation Museum here in Edmonton. And we're making a video today because there have been a few somewhat sensationalist videos posted lately about an abandoned 737 in a field nearby. So we just want to address some of the rumors and talk about why that particular aircraft is sitting in a field near Villeneuve. So it's a 737-200 series. It was built by Boeing and delivered to Pacific Western Airlines in 1979. So it has a lot of very important local history. It served on PWA's Airbus route, so it flew back and forth between Edmonton and Calgary quite a bit and throughout Western Canada. And later served with Canadian Airlines and then Air Canada and Air Canada Tango. And they retired it in 2003 and stored the aircraft at the International Airport in Edmonton for a couple of years, and then in 2006 donated it to the Alberta Aviation Museum, or 2005 rather. So they flew the aircraft to City Centre Airport, which was open at the time, and our volunteers ended up having it repainted in PWA colors. So they restored the original VIN number and the original livery as it was delivered to PWA. So it was parked behind the museum outside. We used it as a classroom. We would rent it out to the police. They would do counterterrorism training. Obviously, we'd do tours in it. But then it came time for City Centre Airport to close in 2013. And there was a concern that the aircraft would be abandoned here and stuck. There was some talk about having a new museum at Villeneuve. So the idea was to fix the aircraft up and fly it to the Villeneuve Airport, and then we would be starting up a new museum at Villeneuve with flying aircraft. So our volunteers and a bunch of workers from Canadian North ended up fixing the aircraft up to get it flight worthy, and they flew it to Villeneuve as kind of the last minute before the airport closed. But unfortunately after that, we realized that the idea of having a second museum at Villeneuve wasn't very tenable. So years passed and nothing really happened to the aircraft. So it got vandalized while it was out there. It sank into the mud a little bit. But we have a dedicated team of volunteers going out there every couple of weeks, making sure the aircraft is sound and usable again. But it has been out there for 9 years now. So before COVID, we actually thought about bringing the aircraft back here to the museum. Obviously, we can't fly it here anymore because the airport's closed, so we were investigating a bunch of different ideas. There was a group in Australia that bought a couple 737-200s and turned them into Airbnbs, essentially. So we talked to them and learned what it would take to take the wings off our 737. And the answer they gave us was it's totally ridiculous and not very feasible. So our second idea was we were just going to cut the wings off, then tow the aircraft here, and then essentially mock the wings up, put them back on, and then have them here. And then COVID hit. That obviously delayed everything. So we've since abandoned that idea, and we've been working with the Villeneuve Airport. So they're going to be pouring a concrete pad near the entrance to Villeneuve, and then the aircraft will be on display as a gate guardian and much more accessible. So we'll be able to do tours again. We'll be able to rent it out to the police again, and it'll be much easier to take care of. In the last 11 years since the City Centre Airport closed, things have been fairly stressful for the museum, but we are actually doing quite well. The museum's really busy. We have summer camps, and we're really planning to stay here for the future and really make this place viable.